plastic surgeons make cause confusion, chaos, and frustration. But it doesn't have to be that way. When running your plastic surgery practice, oftentimes the simplest things are the most overlooked. However, those simple things can make a big impact on your bottom line. Now, you're so busy running your practice, attracting new patients, and doing surgery that it's easy to miss what's not working. Now, see if you're making any of these common mistakes that can derail you and your revenues. Mistake number 1, not knowing who's really on your team. The team you surround yourself with can make or break your cosmetic practice, period. Getting the right team players on board, it's difficult and it's ever changing, but it's vital to your success. So, do you have the right team in place? Are they helping or hurting your practice? In my travels as a business and marketing consultant to cosmetic practices, I've seen a lot. I've seen staff who's charming to the doctor and witchy to everyone else. I've seen patient care coordinators refer the patient to the competitor because she thought they did a better job with that procedure. I've even seen the receptionist or heard the receptionist send the patients to the internet to buy products since they're cheaper than those sold in their office. And it goes on and on. So I ask again, are you sure you have the right team in place? If you're not sure, here's one thing you can do to find out. Ask your team to complete the daily duties form for 1 week. They're just to write down every task they perform and the time it takes them to do it. They start it on a Monday morning and they must have it back to you by Friday close of day. Easy enough, right? You're going to learn so much from this exercise. Some staff will do a great job and they'll be thorough, while others will hurry through it and miss many tasks, while others will actually not do it at all and tell you they were too busy. Now you know who takes their job seriously and cares about you in the practice and who doesn't. Mistake number 2, ignoring your current patients. Do you know the number 1 reason patients never return to your practice? It's not that they didn't like you. It's not that they didn't get a great result. It's your indifference. Since you didn't stay in touch, they most likely just wandered off to your competitor who did nurture them. Consistent communication keeps your name in front of your patients. So when they're ready, they call you rather than your competitors. Now here's mistake number 3, assuming your patients will refer. Let's consider the value of just one of your patients. Every one of your patients has, on average, around 200 people in their circle of influence. Now, that would include their family members, their friends, their colleagues, their neighbors, hairstylists, gym buddies, etc. Can you imagine if each of them referred only one new patient to you? That would absolutely double your patient database and revenues super fast. So, how do you get referrals? You set up systems that happen automatically as part of your processes. For example, give your patients their photos. That means you have a process in place where you're actually taking photos every time and making them available to your patients. I guarantee they want them because I asked them in my book, Your Aesthetic Practice, What Your Patients Are Saying. It was one of the questions I asked, and this is what I learned. 82% of the cosmetic patients wanted their before and after photos, and 76% would have shown them to others if only they were made available to them. But it's all in the presentation. At their post-op appointment, when they are happiest with you and the most excited about their result, you hand them a handwritten note card with their photos enclosed that says, "Thank you for your trust." And then be sure to include your name, telephone number, and website so they can easily see it every time they open it up. By the way, this is not just for surgical procedures. I recommend using this process for all of your services and procedures. And offer gift certificates and make a big deal out of them. So many of you offer them, but it's a secret in your practice and they're hidden away in a drawer somewhere. So how do you change that? Simple. Using your own customized gift bags and tissue, set up a gorgeous display at checkout with an eye-catching sign that says, "Need a quick gift?" It's the timing that's so important because they're standing there at checkout with their wallet open, credit card in hand, and yes, they may need a quick gift. Not only does that increase their order size for the day, it introduces a new patient to your practice. Now here's mistake number 4, only working in your practice and not on your practice. In today's crazy competitive world, it's more important than ever to get the fundamentals right. That means setting up predictable systems to attract the right patients to your practice, convert the callers to appointments, convert the consultations to paid procedures, collect more testimonials, and increase word-of-mouth referrals. Just like in sports, it's getting good at the fundamentals that wins the game, not the one fancy move, or however they say that. Isn't that right? So please, meet with your staff regularly to hone their skills and your processes for that constant, never-ending improvement in each area of your practice. This is what builds your credibility, your reputation, and your revenues. And lastly, mistake number 5, no marketing plan in place. As they say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. It's a cliche because it's true. It costs you too much to acquire a new cosmetic patient to be sloppy about this. And here's what I mean. The top cosmetic practices realize it's not just one email. It's not one Google ad. It's not one social media post. The secret is to regularly keep your name in front of your current patients as well as new cosmetic prospective patients so they choose you over all the others when they're ready for cosmetic enhancement. Because circumstances change, life changes, people change. That means those who said no before were really just saying not yet or not now. So when they are ready, they're going to the surgeon they're most likely familiar with, and hopefully that's you. Please put an annual marketing plan in place with an action date as well as a staff person who's accountable for seeing that it gets done. So here's an example. January, your theme can be New Year, New You, or try to come up with something more creative. You can email to your entire patient list with January specials, and Karen's in charge of that. You can do social media posts, Sandy's in charge of that. Add more before and after photos to the website, Ken's in charge of that. Send VIP cards to your best patients, Sophia's in charge of that. Do a cool sculpting demo on Facebook Live, Karen's in charge of that. Now, each practice team member owns their part of the practice promotion, so they're focused on practice building and not just their own day-to-day tasks. Once you fix the mistakes, the common mistakes that plastic surgeons make, you'll see your practice run more smoothly, and isn't that what you want? If you could use some help fine-tuning your practice to run on all cylinders, let's talk. I can show you how other successful practices handled the roadblocks in their own way and how we got rid of those and they were off to success. Let's do a free 30-minute strategy call you can schedule straight from my website at catherinemaley.com.